Welcome back to the Breathe Blueprint podcast. This podcast is for high performers, leaders, and entrepreneurs who carry a lot of responsibility and want their success to last. Here, we talk about performance, pressure, capacity, and the nervous system behind it all. Not in a dramatic burnout and breakdown way, but in a calm, intelligent, sustainable way. Because real performance isn't about pushing harder, it's about building the internal capacity that allows you to keep going without burning out. Most people think increasing income is about working more hours, learning more strategies, or pushing harder. But at higher levels of responsibility, income is less about how much you do and more about how well you operate. The quality of your decisions, your clarity under pressure, and your ability to think long term all have a direct impact on your results. And those don't come from willpower, they come from capacity. In this episode, we're talking about small habits that do not look impressive from the outside, but quietly improve how your brain functions, how your nervous system copes, and how effectively you show up in the moments that matter. Because one good decision made from a regulated, clear state can be worth more than a week of frantic effort. Let's start with something most high performers underestimate. Cognitive clarity is highest before the world gets hold of you. From a neuroscience perspective, your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for planning, decision-making, and strategic thinking, functions best when it is not already loaded with reactive input. The moment you check emails, messages, or notifications, your brain shifts into response mode. You are no longer choosing focus. Your attention is being directed by other people's priorities. A small habit that can quietly increase your effectiveness is protecting the first 30 to 60 minutes of your day from reactive input. No inbox, no messages, no problem solving for everyone else. Instead, use that time for one of three things: thinking, planning, or one meaningful piece of focused work. This protects your best cognitive window and improves the quality of the decisions you make for the rest of the day. And over time, better decisions compound financially. The second habit is about recovery, but not the kind that involves holidays or long breaks. It's about micro recovery between cognitive blocks. Your brain is not designed for continuous high-level output for hours at a time. Attention naturally cycles in roughly 90-minute ultradian rhythms, and after that, cognitive performance declines and stress hormones rise. But high performers often push straight through these dips, which increases fatigue and reduces decision quality later in the day. A simple habit is take 2 to 5 minutes between deep work blocks to downshift your nervous system. Stand up, move your body, look out of a window or into the distance, slow your breathing slightly. This helps shift your nervous system out of a constant activation and back towards regulation. Even a few minutes can restore mental clarity and reduce the buildup of stress chemistry in the body. You may not notice a dramatic change in the moment, but later in the day when you need to make an important call or hold a difficult conversation, your brain will have more available bandwidth. Before we carry on, let's take a brief breathe break. Nothing dramatic, nothing to fix, just a small pause to let your system settle. If you can, sit back slightly in your seat. Let your shoulders drop, unclench your jaw, and let your tongue rest at the bottom of your mouth. Gently bring your attention to your breathing. No need to change it yet, just notice it. Notice the air moving in and the air moving out. Now, begin to slow the exhale just a little. Not forcing it, just allowing the breath out to be slightly longer than the breath in. In through the nose, and a slow breath out. Longer exhales signal safety to the nervous system. They help the body shift out of a constant alert and into a more regulated state. So let's take 3 breaths like that. Breathing in and slowly out. Again in and out. A little longer. And one more time in and a slow, steady exhale. Now let your breathing return to normal. Gently notice your body. Notice the 3 points of contact: your feet on the floor, your back against the chair, and your hands resting somewhere. This is what a small increase in capacity can feel like. Not dramatic, just a little space, a little less internal pressure. You haven't fixed everything, you haven't solved your workload, but you've just shown your nervous system that it doesn't have to stay switched on at full volume all the time. And even small moments like this, repeated regularly, help protect the capacity that your performance depends on. Alright, let's continue. The third habit is closing open loops daily. Open loops are unfinished decisions, tasks, or conversations that sit in the background of your mind. Each one consumes a small amount of cognitive energy, even when you are not actively working on it. Psychologically, this is linked to the Zeigarnik effect, where the brain holds on to incomplete tasks more strongly than completed ones. The more open loops you carry, the more background mental load your system is managing. At the end of each day, choose 1 to 3 small open loops and close them. Send the message, make the quick decision, book the appointment, and delegate the task. These are not big projects. They're the lingering, low-level items that quietly drain attention. As those close, your mental load reduces. With less background noise, you think more clearly, and clear thinking leads to better strategic choices. The fourth habit is protecting emotional regulation before important decisions. Stress narrows perception. When your nervous system is in a heightened state, the brain becomes more threat-focused and less able to see nuance, possibility, and long-term outcomes. Before a key meeting, negotiation, or decision, take 1 minute to slow your breathing and bring your body into a more regulated state. Longer exhales, relaxed shoulders, and unclenching the jaw can all signal safety to the nervous system. You are not trying to relax completely. You are simply reducing unnecessary activation so your thinking brain has better access. This 1 minute reset can change the tone of a conversation, the quality of your listening, and the decisions you make under pressure. And finally, one of the most underrated habits for increasing income is protecting sleep consistency. Sleep is when the brain consolidates learning, processes emotional experiences, and clears metabolic waste. Poor sleep reduces emotional regulation, impulse control, and complex decision making the next day. You do not need perfect sleep, but going to bed and waking up at roughly consistent times helps stabilize your nervous system and cognitive performance. This is not about biohacking. It is about giving your brain the conditions it needs to function at a high level repeatedly. None of these habits look dramatic. They won't make for flashy social media posts. They don't feel like grinding harder, but they improve how you operate. And at higher levels of responsibility, how you operate determines how far your success can grow without costing your health, relationships, and long-term sustainability. Small habits shape nervous system capacity. Capacity shapes decision quality, and decision quality shapes income over time. So if you want to increase results without increasing pressure, start by upgrading how your system functions, not just how many hours you work. It's built on a nervous system because sustainable performance is not built on constant effort. It's built on a nervous system that has the capacity to keep showing up well. If this episode resonated, it's usually a sign that your nervous system isn't asking for more effort, it's asking for more capacity. That's exactly why I created the High Performer Scorecard. It helps you see where your energy, recovery, and nervous system capacity might be under strain, so you can rebuild performance in a way that actually lasts. You can find the scorecard through the links in the show notes. And if you found this helpful, share it with someone else who carries a lot but rarely slows down. I'll see you in the next episode.